What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're covering some more r/mi the butthole. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and maybe that notification bell too. As you know, it really helps out our channel. And now you can follow us on podcast too, so you can take me with you wherever you go. And also you can be really awesome and join the membership of the channel either through YouTube membership by clicking that join button below or going to Patreon, which a link is in the description, and joining there. And with that being said, let's get in to today's stories. Much love, guys. Our first story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for refusing to help my friend move around in her wheelchair anymore? I've known this person for maybe 2 years. We're both in the same high school. For the past 2 years, I'd help her push her wheelchair to class. So today, we're at a park studying for an exam, and we see a friend she recognises who's in a wheelchair. She comes towards us to say hi to her. After we talked, I had work soon and said we should probably go. Do you want me to help you towards the car? Her friend answered before she did. She said, "Hey, she can do it herself. Just because we're disabled doesn't mean we can't." I said, surprised, "I help her every day. It started because she asked me to." So her friend was like, "Maybe you just assume because having someone do that can be humiliating. I swear, you people think you can do whatever you want and you're helping us, but you're not." My friend said, "Yeah, all these people, where did they get off?" Totally encouraged her to give me shit. And she's been asking me to wheel around forever, so it made no sense. Her friend kept going and going and going, saying it's embarrassing, you should be ashamed, just because we're disabled doesn't mean we don't have agency. She can do that herself, okay? And you can go. How about that? I was like, I'm not going to sit here and deal with this attitude, so I started heading towards the entrance of the park and picking my stuff up. I couldn't leave. Obviously, even if we're just a 5-minute walk from home, not a good idea to leave her here when I think we came together. A few minutes later, my friend was heading over to me and literally said, "Can you give me a hand?" And I sent her a, "Are you fucking kidding me" look. She was like, I know she's a lot, but it would have been embarrassing for me to tell her that you help me go places. She's all about being independent and doing things yourself. The truth is, I like having people wheel me around. I don't like to do work. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You totally threw me under the bus and made me look like an awful person. That's such an arsehole move. You basically said she was right about everything she said. She was like, a little drama is fun sometimes. It's not that big of a deal. Brush it off. And she's gone now so you can push me home. I was like, haha, my days of helping with that are done. I'm not going to be called an arsehole when you ask me to help. You can do the 5 minutes home yourself just fine. Am I the arsehole if I really don't push a wheelchair again? Honestly, I'm pissed and thinking I don't need a friend who throws me under the bus so easily to not be embarrassed or whatever. Yes, she totally threw you under the bus there and I can understand why you'd be pissed, and I think I'd probably be doing the same thing. But at the same time, when she said, I don't like to work, it's like, that's just because of being lazy. So she wants you to push her around because she can't be asked, basically. Ah, God. And we go down in the comments with Joey Ramen Noodles. Not the arsehole. She can't walk. It doesn't mean she can't tell right from wrong. That was a dick move and you were right to tell her so. Lady Basecamp replies, agreed, your friend sounds like she has a penchant for stirring up drama and taking your help/friendship for granted. You sound like an empathetic person, but yes, don't waste your time and energy on this ding dong. Not the arsehole. The Don also says, and quotes, sometimes a little drama is fun, and then says, she's a total pot stirrer. This won't be the last time something like this happens if OP sticks around. And I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below and don't forget to vote on the poll in the description. Our next story comes from Routine Sprinkles 128. Am I the arsehole for not leaving my parking spot because someone honked at me? Hello, so on my 19 male trip to the grocery store, I ended up scoring a non-handicapped parking spot right by the front of the store. It's super hot here, so I decided to grab an ice cream bar. I was unwrapping it in my car, fully intended on driving up once opened, so I could eat and drive, when some old jerk-off started honking at me and wildly gesturing at me to get out of the spot. Now, if I'd have been eating a meal or something, I would have understood their frustration, but I had been in the car maybe 30 seconds. He rolled down his window and started yelling at me, at which point I turned off my car and settled into my seat to eat my ice cream. It caused a pretty big scene, as he ended up getting out of his truck, leaving it in the parking lot, not parked, lol, and yelling at me, calling me names, swearing, all of it. After I finished my ice cream, maybe 5 minutes later, I waited for him to do a loop, looking for another spot, and promptly reversed, allowing someone else to take the spot. I felt pretty justified with that reaction, but when I told my mum, she was disappointed, saying that I caused an entire commotion for no reason. Am I the arsehole? Hell, if anyone honks at me in a car park for any reason where I'm not being an arse myself, I wouldn't move. I'd sit there and just say, well, fuck you then. I'm pretty petty like that sometimes. But let's go into the comments below and see what we can find. Dolphin Eep says, not the arsehole. They've done studies about what happens when people honk at other people in occupied parking spots. They discovered what we already knew. Honking means we're going to stay there even longer. Oh, that's so true. Your humble overlord says, not the arsehole. I'm queen of, it's my spot until I'm not in it. I used to drive an old truck, and when people would idle behind me to steal it, they rarely left enough room to let me gracefully get out, so I'd wave them by. And the idea of you taking a few minutes to get yourself settled, as everyone does, fiddling with keys, music, etc. before he lost it, nah, he can shove it. Grimlock Lou says, so much this, not the arsehole. It was Christmas season and our truck was in an angled spot by a T-section in a parking lot. As we were walking up to our truck, I unlocked it with a fob, and a lady in a car stopped, waited for us to load our bags into it, climb in the front seat and start the truck. She had everyone behind her until her left blocked and they couldn't get around on the one-way lane. She also had her nose about 2 feet from the edge of our bumper in an angled parking lot, so we couldn't back up. Feeling generous because it's Christmas season, we got out and told her she needs to back up so we can get out. She had a car length behind her. She backed up about 3 feet and then just sat there. That may have been enough room if we're in a mid-sized car, but a lifted quad cab truck, there was still not enough room. My husband backed up and kept creeping back as we watched our eyes get wider and wider, knowing we came inches from her front bumper. As there was still not enough room, he pulled back into the parking lot, turned off the truck, we hopped off and started walking away. Parking lots create so much petty revenge, man. But what do you guys think of this story? Have you ever had something similar? Let me know in the comments below and don't forget to vote on the poll in the description for story 2. Our next story is from Heck Dang It. Am I the arsehole for getting my family to do a swear tax after my dad told me off for swearing? My dad and brothers cuss like sailors, but apparently me cussing is unladylike. I'm living with my family. It's me, a 15-year-old girl, my twin brothers who are 17, and my parents. My dad cusses a lot, and so do my older brothers, but apparently the standards are different for me. My dad overheard me saying a couple of cuss words when I was on the phone with my friends, and he got mad at me for my language, and for how trashy and unladylike it was. This wasn't the first time he called me, and only me, out for bad language, but it was the one that frustrated me the most because I could tell there was a double standard. I thought of calling him out on his language and hypocrisy, but then I had a different idea. I said yeah, it was a bad habit I was forming and didn't want to make it a pattern, because if I got in a bad habit of cussing a lot, that wouldn't make me come off well when I start getting jobs or going to college. And as I was growing up, I wanted to learn how to speak respectfully and intelligently. But it was hard to keep from bad habits when I heard him and my brothers having potty mouth syndrome so often. They set an example whether they realise it or not. So I wanted to work on things for myself, but also together as a family. I suggested we make a swear tax, where if someone swears in front of anyone else who's participating, they give $1 each to the person who heard them. I'd want that rule for myself because it would keep me accountable, and I'd really like it if the family joined me for it. So my dad said he'd join, and so would my mum. Then the brothers got to be a part of it too. They didn't really have a choice, my parents decided to make it a rule. I know it's kind of petty, but I wanted to make a point that my dad and brothers swear a lot, and I almost never do. In the few months we've had the rule, I've gotten about $250 from hearing my dad and brothers cuss, and I've not swore once. It's kind of making my brothers angry because they often cuss when they're mad, and I ask them for money, so they get madder and cuss more. So I get more money until they shut up. My dad actually got mad at me too. He was having some drinks, calling his brother and talking. I came over and asked for $18. He said he wouldn't give me that much, there should be a cut-off. He gave me $5, which sends a weird message, like swearing is bad unless you want to swear a lot, then it's cool. I feel like I've made my point already, so really now I'm just continuing to want the family to learn not to cuss for the money, and it's really making my brothers mad. Am I the arsehole for having the idea for the family swear tax after my dad got angry at me for swearing? I did it because I know I swear the least out of my family, but I was the only one getting in trouble for it. Hell no, that was an epic idea. There's lots of petty revenge in today's stories. But that's a great idea. You make some money out of it, and they learn a lesson at the same time. So not the arsehole in any situation, and especially for the "it's unladylike" comment. Ugh, that makes me sick. So let's go down in the comments and see what we can find. GG Park says, not the arsehole, they agree to it, they have to play by the rules. Seeker13 says, amazing how OP literally made them pay for their hypocrisy and sexist view on her swearing. X Florentina says, not the arsehole, that was actually a genius way to handle the situation. I would have been petty and angry and would just swear more, especially after the unladylike comment. Kathleen says, I'd reply to every swear word they say with one of my own. If no one is swearing, make them up. Use weird old TV swear words like smeg. I despise the double standard for this, so tell them off however you like. Not the arsehole. And once again, I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on the poll in the description for story 3. The next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for asking my daughter not to breastfeed in front of the family? Throwaway. My daughter recently had a baby, their firstborn. We hadn't met the baby, unfortunately. Baby was born in early May. We had a family dinner not too long ago. It was just me, her stepdad, my brother and his children, 15 and 12. We were all having a nice conversation when she started feeding the baby. She didn't cover herself up even the tiniest bit and acted as though it would have been difficult for her to excuse herself or just tried to cover herself up. I pulled her aside and told her that next time she visited, would she mind covering herself or excusing herself. I know it's natural, but I don't exactly want to see my daughter like that, and I know my husband doesn't want to either. She told me not to worry, she wouldn't visit again. Now maybe I'm being dramatic, but her reaction was over the top. Surely she should understand that none of the family want to see her breasts. Am I the arsehole? Now before I say something that could get me in trouble, I'm going to say that OP is the arsehole in this situation, okay? But I'm going to also say, I also find like breastfeeding sometimes, if someone's breastfeeding in front of me or something, like in a not in a restaurant, if like in a coffee shop, I've seen it before, like I've been sitting there drinking my coffee, just staring into space, and then someone like on the table opposite me starts breastfeeding, and I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel a bit awkward, but I don't literally stare at it, you know, I don't stare at them feeding. It's a natural thing, I know that, and it does make me feel a bit awkward, but that's my problem. It's not the mother's problem, because it's a totally natural thing, and I understand that, right? And it's definitely a me problem. It's not the mother's problem at all. They're just doing the natural thing what's right for their baby, and fair play to them. And there shouldn't be any issue of doing it around family, especially your mum and dad, man. Fuck's sake. I mean, you probably turn on your TV at night at 9 o'clock or something. You're likely to see a titty there. I mean, come on. Anyway, let's go down into the comments and see what we can find. A throw account says, and quotes, she told me not to worry, she wouldn't visit again. Now maybe I was being dramatic, but her reaction was over the top. Surely she should understand that none of her family want to see her breasts. Then says, how is her reaction over the top? She came up with a solution that allows her to nurse her baby comfortably while keeping out of your sight. Christopher Marlowe says, I heard so much drama about breastfeeding in public before I had my baby. Bullshit. You see a lot less titty than watching the Oscars. Unless you're desperately looking or deeply offended by the back of a baby head and the idea that I'm naked under my clothes. If my baby can't be given basic care at your house without you're hyper-fixated on the possibility of glimpsing of my nipple, then I can't come to your house with my baby. You're the arsehole. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Ah, dear. I've got a feeling this one's going to get a strong reaction, and I hope I didn't offend anyone in the slightest. But here we go. Let me know your comments below, and don't forget to vote on the poll in the description. Our next post is from another throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for being angry at my boyfriend for taking me to an MMA fight for my birthday? Hi everyone, this is a throwaway account because my boyfriend uses Reddit. So last year for my 24 female birthday, my boyfriend, 30 male, told me that he had planned something special for me. I kept asking him to give me clues, but he insisted it was a surprise. So on the night of, I got all dressed up and was really excited because he really isn't the romantic type. I did not, however, expect to be taken to a mixed martial arts fight night. I hated everything about it. I felt horribly out of place, and the whole time I just really wanted to go home. I felt angry because I have never, not once, expressed the slightest interest in MMA. MMA is his thing. He's completely obsessed with it. He once tried to get me to watch a match with him online, and I fell asleep within a couple of minutes. And I felt like he was using my birthday as an excuse to do what he actually wanted to spend that night doing. And he just pretended he was doing it for me by dragging me along. I wasn't expecting a 5-course dinner at a super expensive restaurant, but I was hoping he would plan something that was at least in line with my interests. He got really upset and said that I was being ungrateful. He said he wanted to expose me to something different and that I could enjoy with him. Then he got really moody with me, and the fight ruined what little was left of our evening. Now my birthday is coming up in 2 weeks. With the lockdown happening, there isn't much we can do, so I suggested we brainstorm ideas for my birthday. He said he didn't see the point in him planning anything because last year he tried to make me happy and had it spat in his face. So now I'm really frustrated all over again. So am I the arsehole for being angry at him for taking me to an MMA fight for my birthday? We'll dive straight down into the comments below. NomNom83 was taken says, "Not the arsehole, your boyfriend has been selfish, petulant, lazy and petty. He's 30, unless he's also dynamite in the sack and your biggest cheerleader. I don't know why you're wasting your time." Wursling Dank says, "Completely agree. I was amazed to read that OP has made it as far as her next birthday with him. Additionally, it was so thoughtless and inconsiderate to let her get all dressed up without advising it might be better to dress casually. So she had the kicker, which was sat there feeling totally overdressed all night." I Pretend I Matter says, and quotes, "And I felt like he was using my birthday as an excuse to do what he actually wanted to spend that night doing, and he just pretended he was actually doing it for me by dragging me along." And then says, "Not the arsehole. This is exactly what happened. This guy is so selfish and so self-focused, I'm actually shocked you're still together a year later. Does he ever do anything with you in mind? You deserve more respect than this." Then OP replies, "Honestly, I was surprised by his reaction this year, because last year we had another big fight that resulted in me wanting to take a break. Then he bought me tickets to go to a one-woman play inspired by the poetry of one of my favourite writers, which made me so happy because it showed me he actually does listen to me and can try. I thought he'd gotten it after my birthday and would be more thoughtful for my upcoming one, so for him to act like this now is really disappointing." I Pretend I Matter then replies, "Wow, so the fact that here he is, he knows what he can do to make you happy, he just doesn't give a crap to do it unless it is in order for him to gain control of the relationship. He didn't do it because he loves you and wanted to treat you well, he did it in order to not lose you. For a man in his 30s, he's either incredibly immature or a manipulative prick." And for the final time, I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of the story? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to vote on the poll in the description. Once again guys, a huge thank you for being here, the time out of your day. You know, I say it every time, it's absolutely amazing. The fact that you sit there and listen to me, I'm like, what the hell? Pikachu face. Thank you so much. If you did enjoy, there's another one on your screen as I speak, and I will see you in the next one. Much love guys, take care now.